The Mavericks get it done in their preseason finale against the Lakers in Las Vegas. We'll break down how they got it done, and it's on to the regular season. All that coming up next on the DLLS MAVS postgame show. Welcome to the DLLS MAVS post-game show powered by Michelob Ultra. Cheer on your team with Michelob Ultra at 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's a superior smooth taste worth playing for. Michelob Ultra, official beer sponsor of the NBA. Kevin Gray alongside our Mavericks analyst Bobby Carella, our national NBA insider Mark Stein. We, of course, are DLLS MAVS, your favorite guys, cover your favorite team, especially when they beat the fake show in Las Vegas here in Sin City. Appreciate all of you hanging out with us here for the late night post-game show. It's over. It's actually already Thursday morning back at home in DFW. So shout out to all of our folks staying up late with this on it's now Thursday morning back at home as the Mavericks get it done over the Los Angeles Lakers in what was a 121-94 win. The Mavericks outscored the Lakers, check this out, 37-8, Bobby Carella, in the final period to make some folks happy, especially with cashing winning tickets in Las Vegas. But overall, the Mavericks finished the preseason 3-1. And, Bobby, it's on to the regular season.
Does it feel like 3-1?
No. We'll talk about it. We will talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly from tonight's game. But first, we got some takeaways. Your one big takeaway is?
Never a doubt, Mark Stein. Never a doubt, Mavs -9. Easiest bet of my life. One of the only bets I've actually made in my life.
How much did you put down?
I put down 40 bones. So I'm about to collect $36.35 in profits from our friends at the Westgate. Very excited. Right after the show,
bold move.
I'm going to go to the cage. I'm going to go cash this out, and I might go play a little blackjack until I either get tired or have to get an Uber to the airport first thing in the morning. Big takeaway, thank God basketball is two halves, all right? And not just one, because that first half, I saw some truly horrific stuff.
It was gross.
That was some really, really, really troubling defensive process and structure and approach in the first half. Very, very disconcerting. And then in the second half, they started getting in Gabe Vincent's face a little bit more. They started playing a little more aggressive. They started bringing a little more juice, playing with a little more edge. Here, I did a little tail of the tape, all right? First half, Lakers, three-point attempts, 26. Second half, 15. Lakers, second chance points, first half, 10. Second half, 0. Turnovers, first half, 5. Second half, 12. Field goal percentage in the paint, first half, 11 of 17. Second half, 6 of 16. Complete night and day difference. Granted, the Lakers are playing a bunch of their backups. So, again, another asterisk on judging the Mavs from this game. But the level of energy, focus, force, disposition, all that stuff that they played with the second half, unrecognizably better, and they need to play that way all the time in order to have a chance against good teams.
Mark Stein, the Lakers got off to a fast start, particularly one Gabe Vincent, who hit not one, not two, not three, not four, 5 straight three-pointers to open up the game, 15 points, and then had the nerve to get fouled on a three-point attempt. My man had 22 points in the first half, 18 of which came in the first quarter alone, as the Mavericks at one point were getting outscored from the three-point line 30-3 from distance. Obviously, the second half was much better. The Lakers only had 10 guys available. Takeaways from you tonight from tonight's effort from the Mavericks.
Takeaway number 1. I love Ryan Nebhard.
Me too.
Oh,
my God.
Takeaway number 2.
Yeah.
It is interesting that the panic meter has no limits when things go bad against a team's second, third, and fourth string, but we quickly dismiss any success or positive second, all that stuff you said about the second half turnaround. Of course, we dismiss it because it was against the second, third, and fourth string. I mean, look, this preseason was not the finest preseason in Dallas Mavericks history. I think we can say we saw plenty of concerning stuff on both sides of the ball, in large part because the slate that they played in these 4 games was so weak. I mean, the best thing I can say is if they play great Wednesday night against San Antonio a week from tonight and win the season opener, all of this is less than meaningless.
Sure.
But the vibes probably are not, I would say the vibes are not immaculate as we all pack up and head home, some of us sooner than others. The DLS charter leaves 3-4 hours before the team charter leaves. So
that's right.
Probably a little more than that.
We'll be back at home fairly soon. Speaking of Ryan Nembhard, played nearly 12 minutes in tonight's game. My man had 5 points. What was 4 assists? You'll love this number, Bobby. 0. That is the number of turnovers that Ryan Nembhard had tonight. We saw him get into with that first top 8-9 guys. Jason Kidd said after the game against Utah that he wanted to get Ryan Nembhard more action with the top half of the rotation. And when you saw him in there, he was able to make some things happen, played clean, protected the basketball, and made some plays with that top half group there.
2 big ones really stand out to me. Well, there was one in the first half where he just passed, got off the ball, went to the corner, and it was really nice. He missed the 3, but just like he's just so good at getting off the ball and then still like being part of the play. But 2 plays in the second half. One, kind of this like semi-transition. It counts as a fast break, but no one was really running all that fast. But he's just kind of trotting down the court and then gets the ball right to the kind of the top of the key 3-point area, maybe just inside the 3-point line, as Dereck Lively's running right up the belly of the court. And Nembhard looks off Lively's defender and then hits him with the alley-oop in transition, and then Lively went up and got it. Great hands and focus and concentration stuff. Dereck Lively, by the way, is so much better than you think he is. No matter how good you think he is, he's better.
He's good.
And I got to tell that to myself because I think
and that's another ray of light, that Dereck Lively, who we found out the last time we were in Vegas, is when I reported that he needed an additional foot procedure. We then really didn't see him again until media day. He looks great.
He does.
He does look good.
So ready to start the season. We've seen him out-duel Wemby multiple times already, and so that's something to look forward to Wednesday night. Wemby, who now, by all accounts, is 7'7" or whatever, and Lively 7'2", 7'3".
2 very tall men. 2 very tall men playing
Dereck
basketball.
Lively is ready for the opening tip.
Oh, yeah. And he was a part of the other really good Nembhard play, too. So Nembhard goes right baseline. There's nothing really there. So he does the Nash dribble where you just kind of go through the paint, keep your dribble alive, and then kind of circle back out. And
The basketball Gretzky.
Absolutely, dude. And he gets near like the semicircle underneath the free throw line. And Lively, during that sequence, kind of fills the space left over from when Nembhard exited the lane, seals his man, and becomes a target. Nembhard has his head up the entire time, feels it, and then sees it develop, and then delivers a bounce pass right into him. I think it was a bounce pass. I'm almost positive it was. Please be a bounce pass. And then Lively very patiently step 1, 2, turn, right hook shot. Oh, my God. It was so
That's
nice,
the thing.
dude.
He doesn't just make the right play so many times. He's always looking to get the
Dribbles
ball
with his
to
head up.
someone else.
Yes.
Yeah.
With his head up.
He knows how to run a team already, and
He's your prototypical point guard.
he just
He's your prototypical point
it
guard.
just
Team needs.
stands out so much from everything else that we've seen in these 4 games that if you like a pass, and point guard play is my favorite aspect of the sport, I mean, he's really been fun to watch. And again, we've been talking about it since we got here. He's on a 2-way. He can only play 50 games. Like, of the many contractual issues that have arisen over the last 6 months, I mean, I'm very curious on, like, do they got to get this young man a standard contract and get him so there are no restrictions? And how on earth do you do that when this roster is as full as it is? I mean, we can talk about shooting, which has been such a constant topic and a concern. And Jeremiah Robinson Earl has shot the ball well throughout this preseason, and they're just There's no pathway to get him on the team. So how do you get Nembhard a standard contract? I mean, it's...
Well, the sample size is about as big and meaningful as a little speck of dust floating through my unclean apartment. But I don't know if anyone could make the case that D'Angelo Russell was better this preseason.
We're going to get into
Ryan Nembhard, and I don't think anyone can make the case that Brandon Williams. Obviously, we didn't see Brandon Williams at all until the very end of this game. Nembhard, of all the guards on this team, and that includes Klay, and that includes Max Christie, Nembhard had the best preseason. Jaden Hardy, same thing.
And the thing is, you're right. It could be next Wednesday. They put him in. It goes badly, and then this preseason meant nothing. But just the way he believes in himself and carries himself, I just can't see that happening. Like, he is a very self-assured young man.
It feels like he's earned himself an opportunity to be on this roster, to at least see if he can handle real live NBA action in the regular season with things actually on the line. We'll get more into D'Angelo Russell coming up in the next segment. You mentioned Dereck Lively and the big night that he had, 12 points, 11 rebounds in 25 minutes. Some of the other numbers from tonight, Anthony Davis played a preseason high 32 minutes in his preseason finale, had 18 points, wound up with 9 rebounds, going 7 of 15 from the field. Cooper Flagg, 28 minutes for him tonight, goes 5 of 11 from the field, had 13 points, also had 3 assists and a couple of rebounds. So guys continuing to get their legs under them. We knew that Anthony Davis is going to have his minutes ramped up, as Jason Kidd has said, after the Utah game. Starters playing into the fourth quarter, and we saw Davis be able to get his minutes up to where he felt like it was comfortable enough for him to be removed about midway, a little before midway through the fourth quarter. And Anthony Davis is ready for the regular season now, as one of the big conversations has been his conditioning, getting himself into the kind of playing shape that he needs to be in by the time they step on the floor against San Antonio to begin their 5-game homestand starting on Wednesday. So the preseason is now over with. The Mavericks finished at 3-1 in this preseason. Coming up in the rest of our show, we're going to talk about some things that not only we saw positively, but some things that concerned us, especially in the first half. The tone was set offensively by the Lakers with their three-point shooting. Rui Hachimura really got going in that second quarter, had 13 of his 15 first-half points in that second quarter. We'll get into some of that. But overall, Stein, you and I were in the house before we could take our first break here in the next couple of minutes. Interesting atmosphere. No Luka Doncic, obviously, who was on the sideline with a bunch of his starter teammates, including Austin Reeves, also Marcus Smart. Those gentlemen played last night because the Lakers came in off the second night of a back-to-back tonight against Dallas. But at the same time, interesting atmosphere in Las Vegas at T-Mobile Arena.
Vegas is a Lakers town, always has been.
It was a home game for the Lakers, yes.
100%. Second half, honestly, before we had to make our early exit to make sure we got here on time to do this show, I probably spent more time watching Luka Doncic on the Laker bench with a ball on his hip. Would not put the ball down during stoppages. He was sneaking shots, getting shots up. Gabe Vincent from my conference, so I can only chapeau Santa Barbara alumnus Gabe Vincent for that.
Well, he shot the lights
display
out in the first quarter. The crowd rose to a crescendo after he made his first 5 threes and to see if he was going to make a 6th one in a row to start the game. He got fouled and wound up going to the free throw line to make 3 free throws. But at the same time,
that probably fired you up, huh?
Okay, 30 seconds. I don't understand how this team continues to foul three-point shooters. It happened twice again in this game. Fouling Gabe Vincent on a three-pointer. There was another foul on another three-pointer too. I don't understand the idea of fouling a three-point shooter, especially now with the emphasis of the high five rule. Like, there's going to be more and more emphasis paid attention to that. Stop fouling three-point shooters. I hate it. I can't stand it. Stop doing it.
First post-game quote I want to wedge into the show, Jason Kidd on Ryan Nembhard. He could, quote, easily be a rotation player early on. So the coach seems sold, as well as the DLLS panel.
Nembhard's played well, man. Like he's forcing the issue. He's forcing the issue.
He's a good player
when it comes to his abilities to crack this rotation. Let's take our first break here on the DLLS MAVS postgame shows. We're live here at Westgate Superbook in Las Vegas, your home for legendary Vegas fun. When we come back, let's talk a little bit about what we saw from D'Angelo Russell. The three-point defense wasn't great tonight, and more takeaways from the Mavericks preseason finale win over the Lakers. All that and more coming up next.
Michelob Ultra time?
It is.
It's always time for Michelob Ultra, okay? Michelob Ultra, the delicious taste of victory.
That happened tonight.
Mavs by 27, Mavs -9, never a doubt. That delicious taste of victory deserves something equally superior. Cheer on your team, whether it's the Mavs, whether it's the Lakers, whether it's somebody else with Michelob Ultra. At just 2.6 carbs, 95 calories, it's a superior, smooth taste worth playing for. It is the official beer sponsor of the NBA. It's also the official beer sponsor of the DLLS MAVS podcast. Again, it is a delightful, wonderful treat. 2.6 carbs, 95 calories. You can drink one of these if you want. You can drink as many of them as you want responsibly. You're not going to feel bloated. You're not going to feel full. It's not going to make you feel disgusting or anything. It's nice and light and smooth and wonderful. Superior game meets superior taste. Again, no matter what you're playing for, make it superior. 2.6 carbs, 95 calories. It is a taste worth playing for. The official beer sponsor of the NBA.
It's game time here on the DLLS MAVS postgame show. If you love going to concerts, basketball games, football games, college football games, whatever your choice of entertainment, Game Time is the place to get your tickets. The Game Time app gives you the advantage, and it gives it back to fans. It's the hack unlocking amazing tickets and experiences in just a few taps. I got panoramic seat views so you can pick out the perfect seat for where you want to be at for your favorite sporting event. If also, they don't have any hidden fees when you get to checkout as well, so you're not surprised by anything when you get ready to pay for your tickets. Also, they've got the lowest price guaranteed, or Game Time will credit you 110% of the difference. If you want to go see Victor Wembanyama take on Cooper Flagg at the American Airlines Center on Wednesday, Game Time is the place to get your tickets. Your purchase is covered with the most flexible customer service policy in the ticketing industry today. So make sure you take the guesswork out of buying your tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app and create an account and use code DLLS for $20 off your first purchase. Remember, terms apply. Again, create an account and use code DLLS for $20 off your purchase. Tap, ticket, go. Download the Game Time app today. Back here live at Westgate Superbook here in Sin City, your home for legendary Vegas fun. Shout out to the Westgate Resort here, our official hotel of the DLLS MAVS podcast, as the Mavericks get it done in their preseason finale. What is 121-94, outscoring the Lakers 37-8 in the decisive fourth quarter, as the Mavericks are now on to the regular season. The 82-game schedule begins on Wednesday night at 8:30 p.m. in DFW at the American Airlines Center. Mavericks hosting the San Antonio Spurs. Really excited for that as we finally get ready for regular season basketball. Let's discuss more of our takeaways from tonight's game, as the Mavericks not only get the win, but they finish 3-1 in their preseason. The first half left a lot to be desired based off of what we saw. The three-point shooting that the Lakers engaged in, yes, I know Gabe Vincent went off. He hit his first 5 threes, was spectacular in that stretch in that first quarter. Rui Hachimura, as I mentioned, had 13 of his 15 in that second quarter. What concerned me, Bobby, was the fact that the three-point attempts that the Lakers continue to get, a lot of those came off of offensive rebounds, and finding open shooters off of those caroms and being able to knock down shots. That part to me stuck out a little bit, because we know how big this team is, but with the amount of size that they have in the paint, who's collecting those long offensive rebound attempts or defensive rebound attempts, because the Lakers seem to get their hands on quite a few of them that led to open three-pointers for them. Yeah, so good defense means you're doing one of two things. Number one, either you are taking away the thing your opponent wants to do, okay, or you are forcing your opponent to do what you want them to do. So you are either taking away their fastball or you're taking the fight to those guys. In the first half, and has been the case in the Charlotte game and for parts of the Utah game, although for the most part it was all right, even OKC was getting decent shots. It was just a bunch of guys that weren't very good at knocking them down. Opponents have kind of done whatever they wanted against the Mavs. They got a lot of really good, clean looks from three. Now, some of them are on offensive rebounds for sure, but generally speaking, those are the easiest times to get threes, because defense is going one way and the ball's staying down here, and so you're going to be open, and that teams look for those shots specifically now on second chances. But it was like coming off a screen, Gabe Vincent was just able to set his feet, rise up, and shoot. Or was it R.J. Davis? That's right.
The North Carolina great.
That's
Shout
right.
out Jesse Hawley. he was able to come off a screen, just set his feet and shoot. Both guys had all the time in the world. Dalton connected too, although that dude could not hit the broadside of a barn
Could not
tonight.
hit anything.
But everything was coming so easy and so clean and so early in the shot clock. Everything was just so easy. The Mavs weren't forcing the Lakers to do anything. They weren't forcing these guys to think or to work hard or to have to make an adjustment. In the second half, they did. They started getting a little more physical. They started saying, like, I'm bigger than you, so I'm just going to be big. But I'm also going to step out. Like, they're playing drop on all these screens, and so if AD is the big and he's playing drop, well, he's 19 feet from the rim. Coop is going under the screen, or even worse, over the screen, but like going under the screen on Gabe Vincent. So Coop is 21 feet from the rim. So then who the heck is getting the offensive rebound?
Yeah.
It's bouncing to someone on their team because your big guys are way out here guarding the three-point line, or really not guarding the three-point line, kind of stuck in no man's land. In this preseason, the Mavs went minus 35 in three-point attempts in the first half of games. Now, generally, the first half is whenever your best players are going to play, so I don't really care if Miles Kelly takes more threes than the other team's fifth-string shooting guard. Mavs went minus 35 in three-point attempts, minus 16 in three-point makes in first halves in this preseason, and that's in 4 games. So that's 9 more three-point attempts per and 4 more three-point makes per, which means you are trying to you're trying to make up 12 points worth of twos and free throws. And they didn't do that. The Mavs had a negative point differential in the first half this preseason, and that's against teams outside of Charlotte, and even Charlotte missed some guys. That's playing a lot of really shorthanded teams, like teams missing as many as 5 starters.
So this all kind of feeds into a well, we really didn't have time for a full-on debate, but because Kevin and I were plotting, okay, how much of this third quarter can we watch before we have to escape and find a vehicle that can get us back here so we can start the show on time. But as we were leaving, there was a good bit of press row discussion, let's say, about what's been more disconcerting, to use your word from the opening segment, about this preseason. Is it the offense, which is a new system being put in, and we knew they don't have natural creators? They are not, again, Dante Exum, B. Will haven't been able to play. We finally saw a little bit of B. Will late tonight, but a team very short on point guards. What's more worrisome? The fact that the offense struggled, or the fact that the defense, it never hit. To me, there was just no point in this preseason where the defense really wowed me. And again, I think a lack of intensity in the preseason is not like surprising. It's hard to get ramped up for preseason games, but just
especially when you're trying to stay healthy in the preseason.
but again, this team's gonna have to be great defensively to survive Kyrie Irving's missed time. And I just feel like we've done 4 post-game shows now, and we've talked about defensive issues after every one of them. And I didn't expect us to be in that position.
Yeah, too many wide open shooters from the three-point line. And one of the things I noted, as we were watching the game and following the game, there's a math problem here, because teams that are going to be shooting the ball well, I think what concerned me was the Lakers were kind of a shell of themselves tonight from a team composition standpoint. They had 10 guys available, and guys were shooting the lights out. Now, some of that, of course, Gabe Vincent was doing what he does. But the kinds of looks that they were getting, that's what bothered me most, is that you cannot allow, especially good teams that they're going to be playing, whether it's the Oklahoma Cities of the world, some of these really good teams that have really good shooters. There's a little bit of a math issue, because this team doesn't shoot the ball well from the outside, and they're going to depend a lot on getting out in transition, getting buckets, but also dominating inside the paint. 3 is worth more than 2, I've heard in math class, and that could be an issue at times for this team when defending the three-point line. I don't know how good of a defensive three-point team or three-point defensive team this will be this year, but they've got to be able to fix some of that, because they can't get beat in the math game like that and win games.
Yeah, and against the quality of 3. Like, you can defend really well on a possession for 17, 18, 19, 20 seconds even, and then the ball finds a shooter and they just throw it up because they have to, and they make it, and you're like, all right, that's kind of annoying, but tip your cap and move on and just kind of flush it. A lot of the ones the Lakers were getting in the first, it was, again, both feet set, perfectly balanced, all the time in the world to really, to get into your shooting motion. These are rhythm shots, easy shots. And, the Mavs have allowed a lot of those in this preseason. And now, whether they go in or not is up to the basketball gods and the player. But again, the point of defense is to try and make it tough. So it's more about the process than the outcome. It always is, because we're talking about 82 games. Anything can happen in one night. A team can go 40 of 50 from 3 or 8 of 50 from 3. That's out of your hands. All you can control is how easy their offense is. And easy threes, to me, are the sign of a lazy defense.
And again, look, they could play, if they dial it up Wednesday night when the Spurs are here and play a lights-out opener, we're going to sound so laughably panicked over this.
Sure, but who
I
on
don't
this
think I'm
team
necessarily panicking, but to the process, some of the process things weren't great from a defensive standpoint.
Who's guarding Fox on this team?
No, look,
Who the hell's guarding Luka Doncic when they play the Lakers at full strength? That's the question.
I feel better about their chance of guarding Luka than a guy like Fox. Based on what I
that's
just saw Gabe
Fox
Vincent
won't be
do.
playing, so that will be good news.
That's interesting. That's
Why not?
interesting.
Is he hurt?
Yes.
Yeah, he's still injured. Yeah.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
Hamstring injury.
Mavs by 50.
I mean, point of attack defense is something that has to be a question also going into the year, because there isn't a true.
Well, let's face it, that is a reason why you start Cooper Flagg at the point. Again, I said it multiple times Monday night. That starting lineup is conceived with defensive mind first.
Sure.
Cooper at the 1, Klay at the 2, PJ, AD, Lively. Like, again, if this was, can we chalk this up to just laissez-faire preseason when they knew the Lakers weren't starting anybody and all of their main guys weren't playing, especially Luka?
Some of it, for sure.
So
Some of it.
Can we just say, you know what, they didn't bring it, but that's what we said about the Charlotte game. They didn't bring it. I mean, it's just so.
Yeah. But they did in the second half tonight. Like, they did. You could tell they were a little tighter.
Right, and that's what I was saying.
They squeezed the Lakers. I mean,
yes,
that's what I thought they were going to do.
What is our natural reaction is, well, the Lakers didn't have anybody, so who cares?
Well, no. So, going back to, oh, man, this would have been one of our 3,000 off-season shows.
That's right.
Tim and I were talking about
at noon.
That's
all right.
Sorry.
Exactly.
But this would have been later on in the show.
You're not sorry. You're the one that makes the schedule. Damn it! Like
you were probably here for one of these combos, Mark. But we were basically saying, like, I don't know how the Mavs are going to do against really good offenses, but I do know that against teams with really lousy offenses, if this goes the way it should, they're going to bully those.
They're going to
teams.
crush those teams.
Yeah, they're just going to take the little bad dorks on offense and just squeeze them.
Yes.
And just bully them.
Yeah.
And take their lunch money. And that's what they did to these guys. Now, pretty much no NBA team they face in the regular season will have as little talent as this Lakers team did tonight, but they beat them by 29 in one quarter.
That's right.
And they in the third quarter they outscored them too, right? Yeah, by 11. So they went plus $1 million in the second half because they just dialed it in. Like, that's what they can do. But the only way that with the personnel they have, with the style of defense they want to play, and with the style of offense they want to play, really, the only way it's going to work is if all 5 guys do everything hard, fast, strong, with intent, with purpose, every single possession, every time down the floor at both ends.
I just have to believe it's going to look a lot different Wednesday night. Like, just.
I mean, I would think so too.
To play with, bring a lot of force to the table, because we rarely saw it in these 4 preseason games. It's just been a very weird preseason with only having 4 games, the state of these opponents.
I'll say this in 30 seconds. What I don't want this team to be, and I'm interested to see how it plays out during the regular season, I don't want this to be a team that's a turn it on, turn it off type team, where they dial it up in certain matchups, dial it down in other matchups, and they flip switches on and off as the season goes on.
They weren't really after the trade last year. They weren't. I mean, they brought it every night.
Well, they had to because wasn't hardly anybody available to play.
Well, yeah, but they still did,
and they did.
They could have. Trust me, we wanted them.
Do you want to hear something that'll make you happy?
Do you want to
hear something? Do you want to hear something that will make you happy, or should we wait till after the break to make you happy?
Let's do it after the break to make me happy.
Okay,
let's wait till the break.
Okay, yeah, we got to make our ad partners happy.
Yeah, we got to pay the bills. Let's do that right now on the DLLS MAVS podcast. Mark Stein's apparently going to make us happy. I can't wait till what he says to do to make us happy.
You don't want to miss this.
Coming up next.
But first,
We are live here at Westgate Superbook, your home of legendary Vegas fun. Shout out to Westgate Resorts here in Las Vegas, our home for the last several days. Fantastic hospitality. Once again, we were here in July for NBA Summer League. We were back here again for the Mavericks-Lakers matchup here in Sin City.
Back here for the NBA Cup semis?
I mean,
Easily.
We'll be back if that does take place. But again, for Westgate, it's your home for legendary Vegas fun. In fact, it's the world's largest race and sports book available out there. The Superbook here at Westgate has state-of-the-art LED displays with 4K resolution, 63.2 million pixels, and over 4,200 square feet of glory for Bobby Carrillo to watch all of his favorite sports.
And it's the former home for 7 years of Elvis Presley.
That's right.
This was his home court.
We got Elvis statues, Elvis impersonators everywhere in this place.
Everywhere here at Westgate.
Barry Manilow is on the chips.
He is. He was on my key card to get
on
into
the
my
chips
room.
that you kept handing over.
Well, I want a lot
back.
of them back. I got a lot of them back today.
Oh, good.
Recently voted best sports book in Vegas. It's a must-see destination for sports fans who come here to Sin City in Las Vegas. For the must-see destination for all sports fans, make sure you visit Las Vegas at checkout westgateresorts.com. That's westgateresorts.com. Again, Westgate Las Vegas Resort and Casino, your home for legendary Vegas fun. Let's continue here on the DLLS MAVS postgame show. Again, thank you to all of you joining us live here on our show.
My computer died. I brought my ice bucket and my bottle opener, but I did not bring my laptop cord, and my laptop has died.
So It's okay.
What kind of
famous charger?
What kind of charger do you need? I might be able to help you. The USB?
ThinkBook.
A ThinkPad.
Did he say a ThinkBook? Is that what he said?
ThinkPad charger.
ThinkPad. You've had that thing for 30 years and you still can't get the name of it right.
on ThinkBook again?
That's hilarious. We have over 200 folks watching us live right now. Shout out to all of you. We know
it's almost 1 in the morning.
That's
go to
almost
bed.
1 a.m. No, don't go to
Stay
bed.
up.
Yeah, actually stay up and watch this
Stay
show.
up for 30 more minutes.
And
if
then
you
you
stay
can
up
go
for a
to-
little bit more, you can hear about us live tweeting getting to the airport.
Hey, Shahid has something. Shahid is guessing that you're happy because you got your ATM fees refunded.
No, I did not. I definitely did not get my ATM fees refunded.
Uh-oh.
And I'm sure I'll be getting lectured about those ATM fees when certain people at my residence see the bill. But I am going to share something with you that I think will make you happy. JJ Redick, coach of the Los Angeles Lakers, post-game, quoted as saying, quote, this is in reference to Cooper Flagg.
Okay.
Mavericks Rookie of the Year favorite. He doesn't really remind me of anybody. I know the Grant Hill comparison is getting thrown out a lot right now. Cooper is his own special player. His defensive instincts and playmaking ability far exceed most 18-year-olds.
Yep.
That is the view from the opposing bench.
Yeah, there was a gentleman watching the game with us in the sports book that a little more colorfully kind of made the same declaration about Coop. It was hilarious.
Why don't you just repeat
guy.
what he said?
Cat would get mad at me.
Yeah, we don't want that.
I can't do that.
We
But
can't do that.
He was awesome. Coop had that little kind of post up, sort of like half face up, half post up, turn into the sort of clumsy, wrong-footed lefty and one layup that reminded a lot of people, obviously, of moves that Dirk used to make whenever he was younger. That was a pretty emotional moment for me. He's really good, man. He's really, really good.
The thing I've kept...
He did get cooked by Gabe Vincent in the first quarter, but otherwise he's really good.
I mean, Vincent was on a rare heater. Like, it was kind of insane as he kept knocking down three after three after three. Like, what the hell is going on? Like, what is in the water for Gabe Vincent tonight? Because he was on fire, but he eventually cooled down as the game went on. I've said throughout the course of this preseason and leading into the regular season now, the one concern, there's not one concern I have about Cooper Flagg. I'm not worried about the 18-year-old who is going to have, I think, a really good Rookie of the Year campaign, and he's going to win. I think he's going to be the runaway winner of the Rookie of the Year award this year. But at the same time, there will be growing pains for him. He will learn. He will continue to grow. But his defensive impact, we saw plenty of that during this preseason. We saw flashes of some really cool offensive stuff that he's continuing to do and work on. He'll become a better shooter. Didn't shoot the ball great, especially from the three-point line. I did, in fact, went over 2 from the three-point line, but at the same time, all of those things are coming. And again, he's not going to turn 19 until late December. So there's still a lot for him to be able to learn and grow from. But, yeah, he's going to be a one-on-one unique type of player, and the Mavericks are fortunate to be able to have him. But, yeah, I have no concerns about the rookie from Duke. I think he'll be just fine. Shout out to our super chat that we got a little bit earlier in the program. I want to make sure I get to that real quick. Shout out to Charlie D with the $1.99 super chat. 53 points in the first half, shooting bad, glass half full, referring to the Mavericks and what they did in the first half. They were down 66-53 at the end of that first half.
We were very excited to get to Vegas. We've had a great week, but I think we can also say let's move on to real games. I want to believe real games is going to change the calculus here.
I would agree with that. I think we're all ready for regular season games, especially with the way that the preseason schedule started to kind of lay itself out. The fact that the Lakers came into tonight's game on the second night of a back-to-back, the fact that there are back-to-backs at all in the preseason are kind of asinine to me. But, you know, that's the team scheduling those kinds of games in the preseason. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me. But at the same time, the Mavericks will now have several days off. In fact, they won't play again until what is a week from today. So they'll have plenty of time to rest and recover, get some practice time in ahead of that game on Wednesday, and it's go time now.
I believe they will have 4 full practices before the opener.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, tomorrow is a travel day. The Mavericks are spending the night, and they're spending the night here in Vegas. They are returning to Dallas on a later flight than us, so they will get back at a more civil time. No practice tomorrow.
Can we fly back with them instead?
That would be.
Just ask and see what they. See
You want to sit on the
They
new?
did just renovate the plane.
They did renovate the plane.
You think they
yes.
would let the DLLS suitcase on their plane?
That's a great point.
I
yeah.
mean,
Can
If
leave
we
the
rolled
suitcase
up with
behind?
that thing, they would just.
Yeah,
they would
that's
definitely
true.
leave
we would
us.
just
Hold us
we would
back.
just give Jason Kidd the hat. Be like, don't worry about the
Yeah.
suitcase. Just
Yeah,
take the
yeah.
hat.
So-
Don't worry about the suitcase.
I believe they will practice Friday and Saturday, take Sunday off, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, season opener.
Game time.
And that'll be the last time they practice for a long time.
I mean, here's the thing, and I was going to save this for the fourth segment, but maybe we should just get right into it.
Yeah, let's get into it.
I was talking with a few people at the game tonight, pregame, and it's just the way this schedule is laid out with these 5 games at home, you have to get off to a good start.
Mm-hmm.
It's vital. So obviously they can't control the schedule. The schedule computer spits it out and you get what you get. But I don't love that starting with 5 games at home because
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, because you're almost starting with some pressure. I mean, what do you want to come out of that thing no worse than 4-1, right?
Well, let's take it. Let's jump in a time machine and go back to the very earliest days of the DLLS MAVS podcast.
Mm-hmm.
The Mavs had a 5-game homestand early last season from October 31st to November 8th. They went 2-3 on
Yeah.
that homestand.
Yeah, I remember that.
I think that's
And-
why I feel this way because I
Yeah.
remember that, and you're like,
And Mark, that was your line. They had a 5-game homestand. They went 2-3 up until they lost in Utah, and then it became the Utah game, and that was the rallying cry for the rest of the season. But you're right, man. 5 straight. You cannot lose 3 out of 5 games at home ever. You have to win.
Yeah, that's
if you have
non-negotiable.
championship
if-
aspirations.
yes.
And look,
Because basically all the
second
good
half
teams
of
in the West are going to
season,
win 25 to 30 games at home, if
at
not
some
more.
point in the second half of the season, Kyrie Irving is back. So
Mm-hmm.
when you have to pay the price for having 5 home games to start the season, you would hope theoretically Kyrie Irving is back and available to help you cope with that imbalance that you're going to have to deal with in the second half of the schedule. But it's if they start 2-3, I mean, that is just you're putting immediate pressure on yourself.
Especially given the quality of opponents.
So yeah, I mean,
Wizards, Raptors, Pacers, you got to win all those games.
Yeah, your first 5 games, you got San Antonio.
and I know
Washington.
the Pacers are missing some very important people, but recent Pacers visits to Dallas have not gone
good.
well.
Yeah, not
good
at all.
At all.
Not at all.
And I don't think they're going to change the way they approach it that much.
Yeah,
so
they're going to play fast. Although they have not
I mean,
They
it's hard.
haven't played the
it's-
Pacers with AD, right? Well,
It's hard for them
think-
to. I mean,
Say
obviously,
it again.
they haven't played the Pacers with AD.
I don't believe so. No.
they're obviously not just missing Halliburton. They won't have McConnell either. So I mean, they are missing a lot of their engine.
And now Miles Turner is not even there either.
But-
He's in Milwaukee now.
I mean,
The Gafford killer, dude.
That's
dude,
right.
I mean, to me, you got to come out of that 4-1 and set a good tone. And
just to remind folks of that schedule, it's San Antonio, Washington, Toronto, Oklahoma City, Indiana, those first 5 games at home. In fact,
so am I expecting too much to say 4-1?
I mean,
Like I said, I kind of feel like they are going to come. That it is going to be a strong opening performance. I mean, Mavs Spurs. Bobby Carella has said it many times. It's going to be the 8th time the Mavs open with San Antonio, the most in franchise history against any one opponent. You know, Cooper Flagg against Dylan Harper, Dereck Lively, and Wembanyama. Like it's just it's going to be.
I expect the Mavericks to come out with force in that game. I expect them to make a statement in game 1 at home and be able to give that home crowd an opportunity to feel good about the start of the season. In fact, starting at minimum 2-1 is non-negotiable. Like you've got San Antonio, Washington, and Toronto. You need to beat the hell out of Washington and
that's
Toronto.
like, on one hand, to talk up to, and I, it's not just you. I'm saying it too. To even talk like this early in the season is somewhat not laughable, but it's. I mean, it's an 82 game season, so you don't want to get too carried away. But yeah, I mean, I think you're. If it was a 2-3 homestand again, you're just putting pressure on yourself right from the jump.
Well, yeah, you have to beat the teams that you're better than at home. And historically speaking, now this isn't necessarily as true the last few years because the East has been decent. The East has been fine the last few years. It's been fine. This year, the East is worse maybe than it's ever been.
It's awful.
It's a terrible
The
conference.
East is awful this year.
But basically, from the early to mid 2000s, whenever the West established itself as the superior conference, through essentially the end of Dirk's career, that 15 to 20 year stretch, the early Luka era, you had to win 20 games against the East in order to make the playoffs in the West. You play 30 of them, you have to win 20 of those games, because if you do, you play 20 against the East and 30 against the East and 52 against the West. If you can go 20-10 against the East, all you have to do against the West is go 500, and you're winning 46 games. And in most years, that's going to be good enough to get you to a top 8 seed, not just a top 10 seed. Now, granted, you want to be in the top 6 now, which means you got to go better than 500 against the West. But that is like a very basic, like totally not tried and true formula to follow, but it does kind of stand up. If you look at teams over the years, and the easier games to win against the Eastern Conference teams are at home, and Washington and Toronto and Indiana. I don't think those teams are going to be very good this year. Indiana maybe, but Washington and Toronto probably not. So you want to win those games. You do. You want to win those games.
Of their first 8 games that the Mavericks have this year, they only play one true road game once. And that game, they don't leave the state of Texas. They'll play at Houston on November 3rd. So you'll have 5 straight games at the AAC to start off the year. Then you have the Mexico City game against Detroit on November 1st. That's actually considered a home game for the Mavericks. They're actually the home team in that particular game. Then they'll have their first true road game on November 3rd against Houston before coming back home to take on the Pelicans on November 5th. So it doesn't get much better from a scheduling standpoint for the Mavericks, given the fact that they won't leave the state of Texas basically for the first couple of weeks of the season.
I wouldn't want it.
You wouldn't want that. I would love the idea of starting my schedule at home with that many home games.
I do not want to play 6 of my first 41 home games right off the bat.
Teams don't really ever want to play 6 out of 7 games at home ever, period. Like they just, I remember Rick, God, I think this was 13-14. The Mavs had an 8-game homestand, and this was not in the early part of the year. This was in like March, February or March, and Rick was like, he was stressed about this homestand.
Like you always see funky results the first couple nights of the season where you just see weird scores. Like,
some weird games happening that first week.
I
of
mean,
the
again,
season.
complaining about it does no good because they can't change the schedule. You got what you got. But I'm just saying, I don't love it. I just don't. It's not what I would have wanted when that schedule landed in my inbox.
Well, you know what I love? The fact that we're going to take our final break here on the DLLS MAVS postgame show. Again, live from Westgate Superbook here in Las Vegas. Our final thoughts from our times here in Sin City as it is go time for the regular season for your Dallas Mavericks. All that coming up next.
But first, hey, you should become a diehard. Pretty soon, you might see a QR code in the bottom corner of your screen. Oh, it's almost Tanner's giving me the QR code is there. If you scan that QR code, it will take you to a website, or you can just go to your browser, punch in yourself, alldlls.com, and you can sign up to become a diehard. What you are doing is declaring yourself a diehard, a sicko, a freak, a super fan, a supporter of what we're doing here at DLLS Sports, but also you are cashing out with some sweet, sweet rewards of your own. You get a free shirt when you sign up. We got about 50 of those bad boys, and we're coming out with new ones all the time. You get to choose one for free. If you see a bunch of other ones, you're like, man, those are all cool. I want some because I love gear. Well, you get 20% off all merch and 20% off all events we do. You also get to read the entire website, alldlls.com, where Ron Harrod Jr. is bringing you Mavs news. We got Jeff Wilson covering the Rangers managerial search. Well, I guess the search is over. Covering now what the heck they're going to do with their team. Are they bringing these guys back?
Is Corey Seager coming back?
Are more changes on the horizon?
Is Marcus Simeon coming back?
Because the hot stove kind of like
it's on
like any given day now.
Yeah,
it's going to get going.
Yeah.
Sam Nestler, Sean Shapiro on the Stars beat, and then Clarence Hill and Ali Jawad on the Cowboys beat. You get to read all of that coverage. If you become a diehard, you also get to join the DLS Diehard Discord Lounge, a great place to hang out with fellow diehards online. And you get your physical diehard card. Show it.
Oh, let's go, Stein.
It travels.
Let's go.
Oh my God, we are crossing state lines.
I've been like throwing on the blackjack table.
Over the border to Canada with him.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
You'd have to declare it.
You know, like most people when you're playing blackjack, they give their Westgate card.
Oh, their player's card?
I just give this.
Yeah, you just give.
They
them
actually
the
give
card.
you extra chips.
That's right.
But that is not true. Please do not try that. That is really. But thank you all for supporting us, however you choose to.
Let's finish up here on our post-game show. Shout out to the over 200 folks still watching us live. It is well past now 1 o'clock in the morning back home at DFW. Shout out to all of you who are hanging out with us here.
Our first really late night. Love it.
Sarah says, I'm going to bed, but it was so nice seeing you guys today. Safe travels. Sarah, sleep well. It was fun hanging. It was fun
Shout
hanging.
out to you, Sarah.
And Lion Star. I don't know if I see Lion Star in the chat at all, but
I saw
Lion
him
Star was also
pregame.
at the game.
Saw him at the game.
Nice.
Yeah,
He was
good
there
dude.
very early.
If you're ever in a city where we are, come find us. Come say hi. We would love to visit or grab a bite to eat or whatever.
Yeah.
Can I share a more X and O-y quote from Mavericks coach Jason Kidd than we usually get? This is via our friend Mike Curtis of the Morning News, who is obviously here in Vegas as well. Jason Kidd asked for his opinion about the starting lineup that has Cooper Flagg at the 1, Klay Thompson, P.J. Washington, Anthony Davis, Dereck Lively. Quote, I think defensively, it's fine. I think offensively, we can get a little stagnant because we have so many mismatches to play one-on-one, and that's not who we are. We want to cut. We want to use the pass, and we just didn't do that in the first 6 minutes. I thought the second half, for us to play the style that we want to play, it was an improvement. Also from Jason Kidd, I thought this was interesting. He was asked how he thought Cooper Flagg did at the 1. Ran through some fairly basic compliments, but then said, quote, the other thing that I think has gone unnoticed is that his teammates enjoy him running this team. That doesn't happen in this league. I think that's a plus. I mean, I think Cooper Flagg's going to be the opening night point guard. I think they're going to start this. I think they're going to start this lineup.
That's oh boy.
KG doesn't want you don't want D'Lo out there though. No.
And I'm glad you brought that up because that kind of gets to the D'Lo conversation a little bit because so far very very mixed results to say the least with the D'Angelo Russell experiment, and I was on. If it could happen, the Chris Paul train to be able to get a veteran point guard in here who could be the maestro, run this offense. I know he's of age and is a little bit older defensively, not great, but he knows how to run a team. And I feel like that's what needs to be on this team right now. Someone who could run a team, Ryan Nembhard. Like that type of prototypical point guard to get guys into their positions and run this offense. I don't love the idea of Cooper Flagg being your starting point guard because there's not a lot of shooting out there. Defensively.
But I just think, to me, again, we don't know when we're going to see Kyrie Irving. This team has to – I would rather have the best defensive team on the floor to start the game, to start the season against your longtime in-state rival and get off to a great start defensively. I just think that's the direction I would go, because if you start D'Lo and Klay, and you have to have Klay out there for the shooting. I mean, your choices are either to start D'Lo and put PJ in for Klay, or leave Cooper at the 1 and have PJ in for D'Lo. I think those are the two choices for the opening night starting lineup. I'd rather stick with the starting lineup for continuity reasons, even just because we've now seen it 2 games in a row. I'd rather start with Coop at the 1. Man, you look on your face as you are not.
I don't like that lineup. I just don't like.
Okay,
that
so
lineup.
okay.
I don't like Coop at the 1. Granted, I can't really walk back my D'Angelo Russell takes because I stand by. I made a lot of them, and I have to stand by them.
So what 5 do you want to see on opening at 7:40 on Wednesday night?
I want someone that is quick and can defend. But the Mavs just don't have any of them on the roster. But for me, I would want someone with a little quickness and some playmaking chops. So
you're starting Nembhard.
I don't know if I'm throwing Nembhard in the deep end that early, but like Brandon Williams, I'm thinking I'm listening. Or
I mean, he played 8 minutes tonight.
I know.
That's his preseason.
It's tough to go from 0 to 100 like that. But
how crazy would it be though if they started Nembhard
awesome.
and Coop?
Oh my God, that'd be awesome.
That,
and like I think it's preseason. It's just preseason. I'll preface it a million times. It's just preseason, baby. It's just preseason. None of this matters at all. But pretty hard to argue that Klay had a good preseason. And so,
by the way, Brandon Williams played 3 minutes tonight.
You could
go. He played 3 minutes.
Old man can't read his own laptop.
No, it's
you
all
could
right.
go.
Think book let me down there.
Coop, PJ, AD, Lively, and a guard, and bring Klay off the bench.
When Klay makes 5 threes next Wednesday, I'm going to remind you.
I hope he does, man. I love
he made
Klay.
6 in the opener last year, and we were like, "Hey, we like this. This was good."
I love Klay, but man,
it's tough, man. He's
not providing plus defense,
but 3-point
and he's not providing
volume
plus
has
shooting.
been your thing. Where's 3-point volume going to be if he doesn't start?
And that's why Klay has to start.
The 3-point makes
at the moment right now, because you don't have anyone that can space the floor and be a credible threat from the 3-point line consistently. You don't have that unless Klay is in the starting lineup. To me,
I don't know, all of Klay's threes that he's been taking in preseason are wide open, and he's not shooting them well.
I mean, I tend to trust Klay as a 3-point shooter when we get to the regular season. Hopefully, that'll be the case again. But if I'm starting the lineup, it's going to be D'Angelo Russell, Klay Thompson, Cooper Flagg, Anthony Davis, Dereck Lively. That would be the starting 5 I roll out with. I got to have some semblance of a point guard that can make some plays for others, can go get some of his own offense, because, again, with that big of a lineup, you don't have a lot of guys who can create for themselves consistently enough to at least credibly threat the defense in that way. As good as Cooper Flagg is going to be, D'Angelo Russell needs to be the starting point guard. I think, based off of what they have.
Tanner, who's right
now?
I can't remember what lineup each person said, so that was a lot to remember.
So D'Lo, Klay, Cooper, AD, Lively. That's my starting 5.
I'd go with the starting 5 we've seen the last 2 games. Cooper, Klay, PJ, AD, Lively. God, Bobby's just
I just want to skip ahead to 4 or 5 minutes into the game whenever they start making subs.
Oh, wow.
That's it.
Wow.
That's it.
That's a new form of basketball.
Just get into the bench. This team's bench is so much better than most other teams' benches. Like the starting 5 does not play a lot anyway. They've given the lowest share of minutes per game to the starting 5 of any team over the last 2 years combined, and it's not really close. So just get into the bench, and just find out who's hot.
You put Najee in there as your starting
Well,
point guard then?
I was literally just going to say, you could.
But Taylor's not feeling it.
You could start. You could start Najee.
You could start the knife.
Can we just flash forward to March when Kyrie's back? Then
That's a good idea.
It's not,
that's
not a
good.
question if
That
we
would be
started
nice.
a point guard.
I do think though, Brandon Williams is not necessarily going to be a big point of attack defender at 6 foot or whatever he is, but they don't have any of them on this team anyway. He can break down a defense with or without the benefit of good floor spacing. So I think that quality meshes very well.
But because you don't have that point of
for spacing.
But because you don't have that point of attack defense, that's why Cooper Flagg, for that reason, may make the most sense to start at point guard because he low-key might be your best defender.
So you
on the
are
perimeter?
legit rooting for Brandon Williams to have 4 lights-out practice days here, and that he is the surprise.
I don't think he's starting day one, but
No.
I think he's gonna put together some good minutes. I think he's got qualities that this team really needs.
The lineups and the rotations are going to be a topic of conversation all season long for this team because if they can stay afloat until Kyrie Irving comes back, whenever that's in February or March, whenever he returns, this team has to be at a point where they can take off once he gets back and Kyrie get back to the form as quickly as he can that he was at last year playing at an all-NBA level. That will take time, but this is what they have to work with by the time Kyrie comes back, unless they make a move.
Here's a prediction. The lineup that starts game 1 will not be the lineup that starts the most games for the Mavs this season, and I would go so far as to say it won't be a lineup that's in top 3 most starts for the Mavs this season.
Yeah, mark that. Yeah, mark that.
Flip that S,
right
Yeah,
Tanner.
for sure.
I am.
So if it's Cooper and PJ and Lively and AD and who's the 5th one again?
Doesn't matter. It is not going to be a top 3
doesn't matter.
most used starting lineup
Bobby
this
is
season.
riding high after his win tonight. If y'all saw them change in his mood from like when the Mavs
I
were
bet.
down to now, it's hilarious.
Did you have a doubt?
It's
Did you have a
hilarious.
doubt?
Oh, yeah.
Really? He was. I hate this.
Like you knew
I
the
hate
starters
this,
were going
I
to play
hate
into the
this.
fourth quarter, and the Lakers barely. They
It
had
wasn't
a
the
skip-
starters that did it, dude. Freaking. Let me run through some. Miles Kelly was plus 21. The Mavs won by 27.
Well, I'm saying-
without Miles Kelly, I don't cover.
A lot of the starters got it back to a point where it was already close.
It doesn't
that the
matter.
backups.
The bench just blew him out of the water, man.
No, I know. I'm saying by the time it got to that point, the game was already close. And
Sure, but it was
and-
not. It was not sealed.
No,
at all.
No, I never said it was
Jaden
sealed.
Hardy was plus 22.
Yeah, because
he
he
was
made a
praising
fake.
Hardy
was in
at one
Jaden
point.
Hardy's
I bet he
hands.
was.
It was hilarious.
Making all them garbage threes at the end. Like
Yeah,
it doesn't matter.
Should Hardy start? Should he
Actually,
start the one?
Okay,
What's wrong with you? What are you doing right
I've
now?
been hard on Hardy in the preseason so far, and
Oh, that
I've been
was
hard
good.
on Hardy for a while.
That's
but
good. That's good.
alongside Nembhard, that was the best play he's made all preseason. Hardy was spotted up in the right corner. Nembhard broke his man down, got in the middle of the lane, sprayed it out to Hardy. Hardy kind of like he didn't pump fake, but he sort of like
Traditional point guard alert.
I don't know what
Traditional
the
point
I don't
guard
know what-
alert.
I don't know what the move is called. Where it's almost like he didn't take a step. It was like a slow kind of froze. I don't really know what the move is called, but he kind of stepped through this defender that was closing on him, got it all the way to the rim, and then made a reverse layup. Very nice. Hardy is so good at attacking those gaps in the defense. He is so not good playing point guard, but whenever he's playing off a guard, he's really good. And so if he is the starter and Coop is running point,
All right, we got 1 minute left. Did you guys have a good time in Vegas?
great time.
Stein, you have a good time?
Always
I'm not
love
tied.
being here.
He loved the
just
weather.
riding.
Stein was all over the
I mean,
weather.
the weather has been
For
beautiful.
Yeah.
people not reading the comments out of the context, that's just hilarious. When Bobby just goes, "I'm not high."
I'm not high and I'm not drunk. I'm just
Make sure you mark that.
Yeah.
Make sure you
winning.
mark that.
I'm just winning.
We want to thank all of you who continue to support us here at DLLS Sports. We have had a fantastic time once again here at Westgate in Las Vegas, the official hotel of the DLLS MAVS podcast, your home for legendary Vegas fun. Shout out to John Murray, who continues to show great hospitality to us here at Westgate Superbook. We've had a tremendous time here once again, and who knows, you might see us back here in December if the Mavericks make a run to the NBA Cup. But it is on to regular season basketball. Programming note, we're off tomorrow or today, later today for our folks in the East Coast. And
Mini pod posting.
that's right. Shout out to our guy, Tim McMahon. Had a chance to sit down with him today. You'll be able to check that out. That will drop tomorrow or later today for you to be able to check that out. So we're off as a show for Thursday. We'll be back on Friday. Mark's on at 12 p.m. Okay?
And let's see, the ride to the airport is, when are we leaving?
4 hours.
In about 4 or 5 hours. Shout out to our guy, Tanner.
I'm not going to bed.
All nighter. I think I'm staying up.
Yeah, I don't think I'm
too.
going to bed, dude.
Yeah.
Well, shout out to our guy, Tanner, making us look good and sound good as always. Thank you, sir. The MVP always when it comes to our remotes. He does a fantastic job. So thank you to Tanner for what he does. Shout out to our National NBA Insider, Mark Stein. That is our Mavericks analyst, Bobby Krill. I'm your host, Kevin Gray. We are DLLS MAVS. We will talk to you Friday at 12 p.m. right here on DLLS Sports. Y'all enjoy y'all Thursday. Y'all be good. Peace.
We all silly like the mayor.